Hello everybody, welcome to new course on Introduction to Databases and SQL. This is a very beginner friendly course. In this course, we discuss about database management systems and SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language, which is a means to interact to database management systems. When we speak of database management systems, we have structured databases and unstructured databases. And this course concentrates on structured database management systems, which in turn are also called as relational database management systems. And in order to work, we choose actually MySQL as the database management system. And we have so many commercial database management systems available, which are relational database management systems. And we are going ahead with MySQL in this course. Let's go inside and understand the course agenda. The course agenda is going to be like this. We will start with introduction to DBMS. What is database management system? What is database and what is RDBMS? How it differs from other database management systems like network database management system, hierarchical database management system, etc. And then what are the popular RDBMS in use today? Oracle database is there, MySQL is there, you have SQL Server, then you have so many other popular systems from different vendors. IBM uses DB2. And here in this course, we select MySQL as the RDBMS. Then we start introduction to MySQL and we see how we can actually create databases in MySQL and how we are going to work with the tables, views, etc., which are created in MySQL database. Later, we will start understanding SQL and working with MySQL using SQL. So SQL is a structured query language which is used to interact with the RDBMS, structured database management systems. So SQL defines so many commands through which we can actually go to any database and we can retrieve the data, update the data, manipulate the data, control the data usage, and we can do some kind of transaction management. So in order to do that, we have SQL commands such as DDL. DDL stands for Data Definition Language, DML, Data Manipulation Language, TCL for Transaction Control Language, and finally DCL is a data control language where I can actually control the data by giving certain privileges on tables, views, etc. So that forms the basis for SQL. And then we see how we can retrieve the data from the database. For that, we have SQL query command. That is nothing but the select command. And while using select, we can actually use so many classes such as where, ordered by, group by, having, like, and so many things which are actually part of the SQL. And we also understand later on so how to make use of aggregate functions. So I want to find the number of rows in a table. I want to find sum of a particular column. I want to find the min and max. So in order to do, we have certain aggregate functions and how we can make use of those aggregate functions, that also we are going to see. And most important part is actually is integrity constraint. So when we speak of a database and we need to achieve the integrity, so in order to do that, we have certain constraints. So we have primary key constraint, foreign key constraint, check constraint, unique constraint, etc. Now, out of them, in order to make relations between one table to other table, and primary and foreign keys are necessary. And then we see how we can actually use primary key for a table and how we can define a foreign key which is actually referring to the other table, and how we are going to relate one table to other table. So that part we are going to discuss as part of integrity constraints. And then we can join tables, can join multiple tables, and by using different join techniques. And then we can write subqueries as well. So once this is done, we actually understand PLSQL. So PLSQL stands for Programming Language SQL. Basically, SQL is a non-procedural language. It's a declarative language. We use commands. I say I want this data, and SQL fetches that. It's a declarative language, but we can actually write a PLSQL, programming language SQL, kind of a C program, kind of a Python program. We can actually write some statements in SQL also. Then it is called PLSQL. And we see how to write a function and how to write a procedure in PLSQL. And with that, the basic SQL part will be done with the MySQL. Later, we actually understand about JDBC. So JDBC is Java Database Connectivity. From a Java program, how we can connect to a relational database management system, that is MySQL. How I'm going to connect my Java program with the database. That means the Java program can update my database and can retrieve data from my database. For any application, whether it is a desktop application or a web application or enterprise application, database plays a vital part. So all the user information, all the customer information, all the employee information, everything will be stored in a database in a structured format. When the data was in structured format, we can actually use SQL to fetch. So now from Java program, I use SQL commands to go to my database, that is MySQL, and I can actually do some operations which are famously known as CRUD operations. We can create data, we create databases, we can retrieve databases, we can update, and we can delete. As part of that, we use actually something called JDBC API, which defines certain packages and which provides certain classes and interfaces. And by using them, we can actually create statements in SQL in my Java program, and I will send to my database. Okay, so finally, we will actually end this course with a mini project. So this is how this particular course is organized. And as I told, databases are the vital part of any application, and databases will form the backend part of your application. Any web application you take, there will be at least three tiers. One will be the front end, other will be the back end, and in the middle, you will have some controller part. The back end part is actually in combination with these database management systems. So you can actually use any of the database management systems like Oracle or MySQL or SQL Server or DB2. And in order to interact with all these database management systems, you need to have SQL, that is structured query language. In this course, we will have the complete understanding of these SQL commands. Hope to see you in the next session. Thank you.